Hello my friends, and we are going to get serious today. Now, before we do get into this video, I just want to point out, you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want to do, right? It's your life, you are allowed to make your own decisions. You don't need anybody preaching to you either. All I would implore you to do is to research and educate yourself before you decide to take any path which could, ultimately not go very well for you. And of course, what I am talking about is this article I found on Fitness Vault, which is 20-year-old bodybuilder, mega doses steroids, causes a heart attack. And then obviously the quote is, I almost died. Kia, I think that's right. Makia Childress is warning against PEDs after almost losing his life. I was a mass monster at one point and now I suffer the consequences for abusing PEDs. Now here is the thing. Does any 20-year-old on the planet need to go on gear? No, they don't, in my humble opinion. Again, there's far more people out there who are better educated than I. But do not forget that during that time, your endocrine system, your hormones, are still growing and evolving and trying to figure out who you are as a person. And if all of a sudden you're going to screw up that system, you're going to have a horrible, horrible life. You just are. But for every action, there is a consequence. For every action, there is a reaction. And that's the same for your body as well. However, in a recent video, he revealed that he was abusing everything you could imaginable for the past 5 years. Meaning he went on at 15 years old. You can debate this till the cows come home. I'm going to tell you this. You absolutely should not be doing it at 15 years old. You just shouldn't. You're going to screw yourself up. Maybe I've misread that and I've got it confused, but I will always and forever stand by that statement. And he also said, go talk with your doctor, get your blood work done, take lower doses, do anything you possibly can in order to reduce the risk of getting a heart attack or suffering other diseases like I suffered through. And I think that is a good point. Again, it's not really my bag. I don't really understand it to the point of other people. But surely, if you were doing anything else, you would want to know what's going on in your body, and it's the same with this. So get blood work done. I know it's expensive, but get it done. Even I get blood work done, just to like to know, am I okay? Am I doing all right? Is my cholesterol okay? What's my red blood count, etc., etc. It's just good to know. It just helps you, especially as you're getting older and you want longevity. Childress is the latest person to fire back against excessive steroid use over the past few years, and we've talked about that before, at least other people have, and we also talked about people that have died from it, which is going to happen. I'm 20 years old, and I just had a heart attack from gear. If you don't know what gear is, it's anabolic steroids. Steroids are really bad for you. I've been abusing them for the past 5 years. Here's the thing, as well as STARMs, human growth hormone, and everything you could possibly imagine. And to look the way I wanted to look, to be as big as the other guys, I pushed all of this and I did not pay attention to my health. I think we should just watch the video.
Hey guys, I'm here to spread awareness. I'm 20 years old and I just had a heart attack from gear. If you don't know what gear is, it's anabolic steroids. Steroids are really bad for you. I've been abusing PEDs for the past 5 years, SARMs, human growth hormone, everything you can possibly imagine. And to look the way I wanted to look, to be as big as the other guys, I pushed gear and I pushed food, and I was not truly paying attention to my health. I was a mass monster at one point, and now I suffer the consequences from abusing PEDs. This won't happen to everybody, but I hope you can please go get blood work done, and please don't abuse this shit. It's serious. And like I said before, I'm the age 20 and I just got a heart attack from taking it for so long. And with hardly any rest breaks. So all you kids out there who are taking PEDs, please reconsider your health. Go talk with your doctor, get blood work done, take lower doses, do anything you possibly can in order to reduce the risk of getting a heart attack or suffering other diseases like I just suffered and went through. A normal heart is supposed to squeeze around 55 to 60% of its max capacity. Mine is now squeezing at 25%, and because of that, a blood clot formed in my heart, and it traveled up into the arteries of my heart. That's very serious. I almost died, and even if it was like longer than 10 minutes, I would not be here today. So please, if you have a loved one or somebody who's abusing PEDs, please just go talk with them. If they need help, get them help. Just do something so they don't end up like me.
I think that's actually quite a sobering video, to be honest with you, because we never think it's going to happen to us until it happens to us. Now, again, I know a lot of younger viewers watch my content. We've talked about all this stuff before. Again, not something I've ever got into, but I completely understand why you would be tempted. Of course, I've looked this stuff up before, especially in my younger years when you just, you see these amazing physiques and you decide to yourself, well, that's the only way that I'm going to get it. And you almost talk yourself into it. Whereas I'm going to go with my catchphrase that I always use. There's no point looking big in a box. So you look absolutely amazing, but if you're in a coffin win by the time you're 28 years old, 32 years old, 40 years old, 60 years old. What's the hell the point, man? We only get one shot at this life as far as we're aware, and I think we need to protect that as much as we possibly can. But moreover than that, and you never get this from the headline, and so many people won't watch that video and they won't read the article. It wasn't just the fact that he was doing, he just said gear. We'll just go, let's say he's doing testosterone, right? You then have the human growth hormone, you then have the SARMs, you then have all these other things coming into play. And that is what is truly, truly scary, is that it's almost like a roller coaster. So you do one, then you do two, then you do three. And this whole lowest possible maximum dose thing, which I've heard a lot when I watch all of More Plates, More Dates videos, whether they're relevant to me or not. And he pushes that all the time. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the smartest dude in the world when it comes to this kind of stuff. And he says that's what you want to do. So find the minimum possible dosage where you're getting a benefit and just stick to that. But we don't get that. What we do get, I'm not going to give any names away, but of course I'm in professional wrestling and people have talked to me about this stuff because they know that I'm very passionate about it. And they don't start, with tests, for example. They don't start with testosterone. They don't start with a low dose. They all go on 500 milligrams a week because that's this weird average that has been doing the rounds. I'm not saying that it's rife within wrestling. I have people that go to the gym that do the same thing. I'm just using that as an example. And I try to tell them, well, why don't you try lowering it and see how you get down? And also rarely the people that I talk to have any idea that testosterone converts to estrogen, and that's going to come, across with its a whole world of problems, which is why I am here to tell you not to abuse stuff, whatever it is, alcohol, other drugs, recreational drugs, steroids, etc., etc. We could do this all day. What I really, really want you to take away from this, because why would you listen to me? Of course you're not going to listen to me. If you've already made up your mind, there's nothing I can do, and nor should I, right? I don't think that's right of me, because you have to make your own way in this life, as we've already talked about. But if I can put anything in your brain, it's just to do the education. I don't mean go read Reddit. I don't mean go and read anecdotal report. I mean actually talk to people that know about this stuff. And I'm not even referring to myself. There's a bunch of government articles where they've gone into this and what works and what doesn't work and how it affects this and how it affects that. And I really do think you should read it, because I never want to hear another story about this again. But of course, we will do. And it's not just the fact that you may live or die. It affects your livers, it affects your kidneys, it affects pretty much every single internal organ you have, because you are adapting your physique, right? You're shifting yourself away from what your natural genetic code may be, or your DNA. Now, that's still going to tie into this. The, better genetics you have, the more likely you're going to see results. That's the other issue. People think to get any kind of physique, you just stick a needle in your ass and then in 6 weeks you look like an amazing human being, but you don't. You absolutely don't. There's still so much that goes into it, and you still have to try hard in the gym. That's the other thing I get. People think, I can't really bother to go to the gym, but I don't mind going for an hour or so. So I can just half-ass that, and I can take all these drugs, and they think it's almost like, say you need to go to the gym at 90%. I'm just making up percentages here. They only want to do 65. They think that gap in the middle will be made up just by doing whatever they choose to do. And that's not the case. And it totally is out of control. I'm not going to say where I was, because I don't think that's fair either. But I was just walking around a town centre the other day, and I saw this random bodybuilding shop, nutrition shop, and I always go in. I like to see what they have. And at the top of a shelving unit in the far left corner, they just had SARMs. Now, were these legitimate? Probably not. It was probably just some kind of glutamine in tablet form. But the fact they were being sold, and the fact this was totally cool, and the fact that nobody knew about it, goes to show how easy it is to get these days. And I believe my man Josh Brett did a video about this, how they're basically like legal steroids, and you can just find them. That's true. They are, again, we don't know about the legitimacy of them, but they are so available both online and apparently in stores that, once again, I think pushing this message of just, allowing your knowledge to increase. Just don't put anything within your system without knowing what's going to happen to you. And don't be the classic traditional, some random big guy at a gym gives you some pill and you just take it back. Ask what it is. You know what I mean? And there's stuff out, there's places out there too that can test this stuff for you, should you really want. So this was more about the fact that when I did read about all of this, I thought it was an important message. We don't really talk about this kind of stuff a lot on this channel because it's not really my MO. But even if one person listens to this and reconsiders, or actually does go on Google and really starts to read up about it, then I think it's an important thing. We'll end it there, because this is essentially me doing a massive rant, but please just take care of yourself. I mean that, I do. The gym can be a funny thing, and it can really affect your mental health. It can really drag you down. I get that. I've been there as well. And sometimes in our darkest moments, we kind of consider this stuff, and it's just not worth it. It's just not. So remember, you're a human being, you matter. But very, very sadly, you're not immortal, and sometimes bad things can happen. Otherwise, you know the deal. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Get the bell ding ding so when others are going live, there will be a video on the screen. Please do give it a click. That helps the channel no end. As does going to GorillaMind.com/Simon. Use code Simon, get 10% off. I like these supplements a lot. Very happy to promote them because I believe in them. Add Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter. Patreon.com/Simon316. If you want to support me that way. Cameo, a personalized video site. I'm on there should you want a shout out. It's just a nice thing to do, I think. And there's something else, merchandise, wrestling merchandise, fitness merchandise. It's all in the description down there. Otherwise, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Talk to each other. Be nice. Be smart. Be educated. See you soon.